this is Divine Sunshine on my morning drive. This is our weekly, so much update about the energies. Today's focus is mainly about cleaning up, picking up after ourselves. Been doing a lot of cleaning up after myself, doing some forgiveness, things of retrieval of the heart, and kind of gather some things so I could be able to kind of clear. I see planes, clear the planes, clear the ways and the pathways, so I could be able to begin anew, rather than business or love. I seen on the side of the road driving this morning, which was pretty much a big garbage bag, and that led me to saying again, and then I seen some in and out junk removal, and I was like, you know what, the topic is really clearing and getting to a point that we are accepting. Those of us that are working on projects or is things that you want to actually get done, make sure that I'm pointing more so this way so you can see, like you're driving, that really need to work on projects or books or things like that. We're coming to the end of October, and we can really, almost in August, in October, and we can really feel like something is like removing some of the barriers in order for us to get these projects done. I know myself and other people have been. I sat down and I started to do something, and then Spirit, like the file that I was looking for that I had created, it no longer existed. I was like, what happened to all the work? And I said, well, you know what? You know what that means? That means Spirit don't want you to do it, or it'll be found later on, and they want me to really truly go into a different direction. But the project is for it to get done. Now, it's just the way and the manner in which I chose to do it. The direction of it is like it's no longer needed, or I need to find another route to be able to do that, or switch lanes, just like I just did there about this certain project. Just really seeing that even in my life, I practice what I preach, or whatever I talk about, and a lot of times I always say that this channel saves my life. And so what I did was I did practice a forgiveness thing. I did looked on one of my readings where they had the 3 pick. I mean, that one to me is so dynamic as far as giving specific things that sources said about us if we want this union in various areas of our lives, whether it's with our person, whether it's with our self in spirit, or if it's mission, and how really all of it kept on saying about reconciliation, forgiveness, going back and clearing out some things. And I actually practiced what I preach, and I reached out and reached out to a person, I don't want to leave that private, about some things that we had kind of part ways on. I'll put it in a nice way. And some of that stuff again was because of childhood wounding. Some of that stuff is because of self-esteem. Some of that stuff is again, and at that point I had to not discredit. I believe I saw what I seen, and at that time believed that it was some certain things that also not only myself but the other person had to work on as well. And so I reached out and I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this because I feel like it's something energetically blocking in this area due to what had occurred with this person. Contacted them, and everything was like, hey, you know, everything just reset it back itself, you know, and I could feel within me energetically. I won't talk about the person's experience, but I could feel me energetically, like it was a lighting, like almost like somebody peeling back a film, you know, like when you have like things you put in the microwave and you peel it back, and it gets to release all of that steam from that microwave dinner or whatever thing that you're putting in there. And it's like, okay, now that's lifted. I feel it opens up a way for you to do that. I would pretty much kind of say, you know, I am saying, when we talk about the topic is picking up after ourselves, look and see about where have you left some trash or some things that you know that you need to clean up to make right so you can really clean up the ways. This is really time, again, I know with the different energies has came along to really help us to do the prep work, they're saying. Help us to really say, you know what, there's some things that I'm trying to not look at. I'm trying to cut my eyes and say, blah, 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 I don't see it, you don't see me. And Spirit is like saying, yeah, that did happen. And yeah, you need to go back. You know, that was a kind of swallowing of a pride thing of to admit or to say that as well about some things that maybe because our ego, you can't blame anymore the ego. That's really how you felt, good, bad, and indifferent. That's the way you had actually had thought at that time, and that was you. You can't blame it on the ego. It's self that did that, and that's how we know we're being more spiritually mature when we're not finding different various outlets to go along to say it was that person's fault. I would have been this way if they didn't do this. I would have done this if they had just cooperated and acted right. Those days are over with, and that's what, especially about being divine, understanding that, hey, yeah, you know, and I said it on my podcast, being divine is okay. It's about the human experience and understanding when you fall down, but we get up. And that's the big thing as far as us being really the thing of us being right now on this walk. See the number 17. Interesting. So 1 is intuition, awareness, and 7 is our spiritual completion. I see the numbers 47 quite a bit, and the number 47 to me always is really symbolizing a groundedness in this spiritual completion, which means your intentions about everything that you are doing right now is about you really anchoring in completing these things of the spirit. That's really helping you to become whole. And it's less more of looking at the outward. It's really, again, that understanding of that so within, so is without. So I really would like to kind of like actually challenge you to actually look at and see what ways in which you need to go back and pick up after yourselves so you can really clean up. These are things that maybe have happened in the past, even if it's something that maybe you might want to see about what kind of patterns that had happened on as well, that you maybe unknown patterns that from your childhood or unknown patterns that you're talking about even happening now, and it's like you need to kind of stop. And that's one of the things that I want to kind of concentrate on as well, as far as trying to help us to understand that these patterns are going on sometimes unbeknownst to us. It's underneath, it's subscripting, just like a ticker tape that you see on different news programs, and it's just going. And you're like, okay, it's down at the bottom. You call yourself trying to just watch the program, but you ignoring the words and the things that's going down at the bottom. But they are subliminally changing and putting an imprint on your spirit or your subconscious as well. And so that's why it's very important that we actually address those things and we stop them so we can create that new rewiring. If you're interested in doing that, I also give those services on the ShantiWellnessCenter.com. I would say go over there and see. I got in different areas to see, to stop you with the patterns, whether it is in relationships, of your early childhood, if it's even in the past in other lives, if it's even about sexual things that you try to say, I'm trying to release it, kind of move on from that. Everything through quantum healing, hypnosis, all of those things can be looked upon and can be unwired once we kind of set forth the questions, set forth the intentions, and really go deep diving into that to see about what's happening with you subconsciously and your higher self to help you to get those answers that you are seeking. Okay? And so this is really the time to really get down and get those patterns, because if you don't get to them and you don't unearth them and get rid of them, it's gonna sabotage everything that you're trying to do. Set anew. That's what it says. It's gonna sabotage everything that you're trying to set anew and you're trying to do. So it's important that we go ahead and we get control of that. Let me see a feminine now. So again, in our spirit, we gotta again reset. When we talk about these patterns, the laugh, I see 2 dogs there. So that begins again, which is our loyalty, our authority, and our friendship, how we connect with others due to us not having those patterns. Because if you don't get that, it does affect those 2 things there. Those areas, those 3 major areas, how we stand in our authority, how we connect with other people, and how we are really truly committed. Because from the reading I had did on, again, about how to be able to really know how to get it with your twin flame, they were saying our commitment and our spirit is real shaky. Like, it's like our spirit ain't loyal. I like to say, these souls out here ain't loyal. Our spirit ain't loyal. A divine feminine energies, in a way, is not loyal when it's out of distortion. When it's in distortion, rather. When it's out of distortion, it understands, hey, this is how it's going to show up. These are just illusions. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change things. I still know what I want. I still know my mission. I still know my purpose. But when we are in that not loyal kind of space there, we allow everything and anything to knock us off, like my coworker used to say, off our square. And we can't get to that point that we are actually doing that and expecting us to have forward movement or progress. It's very important that we understand that. And again, see some more trash bags around here. Spirit is really seeing trash bags. These hefty bags. It's not a lot. I'm not seeing 16, but I do see us narrowing it down. It's that 1, 2 to 3 bags. Some of it's 1 bag, some of it's 3 bags. I'm seeing the number so you can be able to get that mastery. So you've got to deep dive into that. And I really don't think, beforehand, I used to say, the people who are tuning in, and I think Kathy D is enlightening me on that, to say people are coming back and they dip in and dip out on the channel because they already know. This is not the ones that don't know, understanding the importance that we've got to really do the work. We get that. We get that. And I think that's why, again, we on the channel and off the channel as much now that I don't take it as, oh, they don't like what I'm saying. It's more so of saying, hey, I got it. I'm doing just like what you said, because I had to remind myself that they're practicing what I preach, which is, again, I tell you, you shouldn't be on here all day looking for your fixes from me or for any reader. You should be, again, getting what you need and going on. So Spirit is telling me and said, you know, you're like the lighthouse. You know, when they come in, they want to come back into port, they look for you to see what's the new direction that they're supposed to do. You are truly holding the light. And I was like, okay, now I can be less sensitive about that. But there is one little piece that we've got to work on. And I know collectively from the people that have been hanging out with me on this channel, you all, we got this one little thing that is interesting that we need to move, and we're going to need some help. And I think we need to kind of collectively come together. You don't think I know that. Spirit woke me up this morning to tell me that. So we got to collectively work together on it. And I think also we're now on this place that we are willing to work. I think when I first had started the channel, it was more about I want to see what he doing, I want to see what she doing. It ain't me, it's them. And I believe that now, if we are all growing together and evolving together on this channel, we're less on to looking at him, and we're looking like, okay, it's me, oh Lord, standing in need of prayer. Now, what is it specifically I need to move or I need to repair? Say in-home repair. that I need to pay. I don't know what that was about. Need to work with. I need to repair. Hey, he all in the bus. Like, I don't know what. He look like he in shock. Like she left on the bus. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, we need to go work on, and we need to repair. And it's like, what is it specifically? Because I think a lot of the clients that I had, they like, okay, it's this. And I definitely know the first thing is the mind. The mind is the culprit. Like I said, it's the karmic. For I think collectively, if we on this channel, we all kind of vibing on the same frequency and energy. It's that mind. If we can get past that and get mastery over that, and in some other areas the Spirit told us we'll have that. And so, you know, especially what's going out there in the world, and you hear them talk about COVID and these new mental issues that's coming online about COVID and the anxiety of being in the COVID world. And it's not only us feeling that, it's the babies, the children are feeling the same thing as well. So, you know, this thing became bigger than just the twin flame thing. It's about, again, us anchoring in and getting control over our mind and seeing the things. But as Ralph Smart says on Infinite Waters, understand that I'm still free. You know, breathing in that good ass prana and understanding that the cat down the road is free and we not free. We need to kind of work on that. All right, then, I am almost here at work. As always, thank you again. Hit me up on AshantiWellnessCenter.com if you're interested in getting your patterns, unearthing and stopping and rewiring your brain to get rid of those patterns by looking at your subconscious and your conscious to get the answers. As always, stay lifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste and Namago. There go number 17 again. I'll look it up and put it in the comments what it means. Thank you. And as always, love you. All right. Bye-bye.